See how I'm dressed?
Yes, I do see how you're dressed.
I'm dressed like a businessman.
Yes, sir.
Because I kind of made some business, man.
Yeah?
Will you do me a favor?
Of course.
In that like side thing, the cabinet, open that cabinet door for me.
Cabinet door open.
And then pull out what you see in there. Oh, what's that? Oh, what's...
Is this our...
No more LD.
Is this our new...
LD ain't paying us. You're looking at 2 new ambassadors, boys. Shout out Built. Literally my favorite protein brand in the entire world. Camera, punch it in my face. I eat 2 of these every morning after a workout. That's not an exaggeration. I literally... 2 best flavors. Brownie batter, cookie dough. The puff versions. They're absolutely amazing. Oh, you don't like the puff versions? Guess what? They got cookie dough in the regular. Shout out Built for everything. Like legit, we even have our own codes.
Yeah.
So if you want to use my code, that's TCP Connor. You can use 10% off at checkout.
Same thing here. TCP Zach. Get you 10% off at checkout. So if you already buy this stuff, you might as well use our discount codes. Like I know a couple of you out there that already use this and eat it. So
absolutely delicious.
Might as well use the codes to get 10% off your order. So.
Literally, as the intro's rolling, just know that I've been gnawing on. Is this coconut chunk? Yeah, it's coconut brownie chunk. Just know while the intro's rolling, I'm literally munching on coconut chunk. Zach, intro.
Intro. That was it. No.
Do it.
All right, fine.
Do it.
Intro.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Training Camp Podcast.
The Training Camp Podcast.
I got a new chair.
With a multitude of guests.
Can't say he's wrong, am I right?
Oh yeah, dolphins.
No, I really like
Stupid games.
5-0 last week. That's right. 5-0. Dak Prescott. You could lock up that 4 seed. Again, it's not blazing hot, 65 degrees. I'm going to do this for fun.
They threw to Michael Thomas.
The Heat. How? Chicago. Yes, you guys get an F.
And a little too much personality.
No. Last week. No, Ravens? Oh, fuck. Give me that. No way. There's no way. Hammering. Free. Really, do not talk about him.
This one's my fault.
Flex the game. Here we go. Okay, intro just ended.
Intro ended.
So, Zach.
While the intro was playing, I revealed to Connor that I have never tried a Built bar, and I didn't know they existed until we reached out to them. Yep. So I'm gonna try one, give you my honest reaction. Hopefully, it doesn't turn into a forfeit. I doubt it will. It's a protein bar. I've eaten these for a long time.
They don't taste like protein bars. It tastes like a straight candy bar.
It's good. Not what I was expecting consistency-wise.
It tastes like a marshmallow, right?
It's a marshmallow.
Yeah. And then, like, let's say you kind of like a Milky Way bar. That's what the original bars are for. This tastes just like a regular Milky Way. And they also, I actually tried this for the first time ever today. I've only seen them on the website. But they have these granola bars. These actually slap as well. So, literally one of the best ways, one of the leanest protein bars.
Yeah, I was reading the packaging, and it's good for you, too. So.
Yeah. And they're also a local Utah company. So, shout out to Built for giving us an opportunity to be some good brand ambassadors for them, hopefully. So, shout out, Built.
Ambassadors turn into sponsorship, so that's the goal, all right?
Yeah. So
getting sponsored.
That's hopefully step 2 if they appreciate us so much. So, shout out, Built. Make sure to use code TCP Connor or
TCP Zach
at checkout for 10% off. Okay. We missed last week because Zach had a kid.
I am a father. Not to a human child.
Didn't think he was gonna roll with it.
But I am. I am a father now. I.
What's her name?
Her name is Ray.
No. What's her name?
Oh, her name's Bing Bong. Her name's definitely Bing Bong.
Trin.
Yeah, her name's Bing Bong. But my girlfriend, being the way that she is, wouldn't allow that to happen. So her real name is Ray. But she's Bing Bong. There may be a picture of her up on the screen, depending on if I remember to send Connor a picture or not. But yeah.
How'd the first week go with her?
It's good. She's a lot of fun. definitely a lot of personality. She's super energetic and very cuddly and all up in your face.
That young?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's nice.
So yeah, I think she's gonna be a good cat. We're 1 week in, so she could turn into a menace. But right now, we're enjoying it. The worst parts are the mornings by far. At about 6 o'clock a.m. every morning, she'll climb up into our bed and start bugging us, telling us that we've been asleep for too long. And
That sounds like heaven. What's wrong with you? You got a cat wanting your attention. A little kitten.
oh yeah,
Don't complain.
It's cute.
Okay.
It's very cute.
All right, as long as you know it's cute.
But at 6 a.m., I would rather be sleeping for the precious last hours.
What time do you go to work?
9:30.
Okay, that's kind of fair.
You know what I mean?
Kinda
Like
fair.
waking up, like I normally wake up. I have an alarm set at 8. I would normally like get up and out of bed around like 8:30.
Oh,
But
that's fair.
like
Dang,
now,
you cut it close to work.
well, it takes me. If I showered the day before, I don't need a shower. Showering will take me 10,
Oh, you're
20
a night
minutes.
shower.
Most of the time.
It's all about the morning, bro.
See, I like morning showers.
It's like feeling fresh.
Yeah, but I'm feeling fresh to go get dirty. That's how I know.
What do you mean by that?
It means I'm going to a warehouse.
Play
where
the
there's-
Pornhub intro.
Yes.
That's a segment.
okay. But yeah, no, it's like I don't know. It's like showering before you go to the gym. Is like how I would look at
I
it.
guess, yeah, I shower. Because, I guess I'm technically a morning showerer, but I shower after I go to the gym.
Yeah.
So.
And like I'm doing a lot of like physical work and
Yeah.
and like
That's true, I
sweating
guess.
throughout the day.
No
so-
one goes to Home Depot and expects you to smell like
Yeah, no.
Dove men's
No, it's
soap.
So yeah.
So,
I normally shower when I get home from work.
but first week with Bing Bong was pretty good.
First week with Bing Bong was good, man. Yeah, that's really the only downside I see right now is that she's waking us up in the morning, but a baby would do that.
Can't wait
Even
for
worse,
next
so.
week when Zach comes into the pod and just his legs are just like scratched.
They are.
They are. Oh, they
Yeah,
actually
they
are.
Yeah.
I didn't even look, but they
No,
totally
yeah,
are.
so this section on my leg, I know you guys can't see it. This was the first day. I went to the bathroom, and she, for whatever reason, like our toilet's like right next to our shower, so there's the shower curtain.
Yeah.
And my legs were like hitting the shower curtain and making it like dangle, and she thought I was like playing and got up and like tried to jump up and like stay on and then fell off. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, if you know cats or have been around cats, you know they tend to do that where they'll like cling on to something and as they're falling, they don't retract their claws and it just
Try to like stay there. Oh, that's damn.
Yeah.
But other than that, the other thing that kind of happened. So yeah, so Zach had a kid, so we had to cancel last week's pod.
Yeah.
But kind of nice to have a week off. Honestly, sometimes it's always nice to come back fresh.
Yeah.
What do we? I mean, I guess the week before we missed the Chargers.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. So there was definitely a lot of things that happened. The biggest thing was the Chargers being up 27-0
Sorry, James.
at halftime.
Yeah.
I got to witness all of that from
You-
JP's
you were
perspective.
with JP,
I was with
I
JP.
forgot.
So we had planned with all of our friends. We were going out to dinner that night, all of our girlfriends and everything like that. We went out to Buffalo Wild Wings on that Saturday night. We got there. We left right before halftime. We left it was either right before halftime or during halftime we left. They were obviously destroying 4 interceptions in the first half.
It was over. The
Like-
game was over.
It was bad. There was other Chargers fans there. There was other Jacksonville fans there that I was noticing. Like the Chargers fans were up all high and mighty. Jacksonville was down and out. And yeah, we get back to my apartment. Kind of walked around a little bit. We're doing some stuff around the apartment, and then we got back and we're like midway through the third now, and I think it was 27-7.
Only a mere 20-point lead at this point.
They hadn't scored their second touchdown. I remember watching their second touchdown and it being 27-14, and I audibly go, "Uh-oh," and JP goes, "No, don't start it."
I can literally picture that.
And yeah, it just you guys obviously hopefully watched that game.
How did James just like react as the game unfolded?
So
Sorry, James.
I think due to the fact that we were in like a group setting with like Caleb's wife was there, Braden.
He had to be civil.
Braden's girlfriend was there. My girlfriend was there. Like, I think he was just like depressed deep down and just holding that in.
You sent me like the saddest picture of the poor guy.
Oh yeah. So
just
right after the game,
over.
we turn it off and we're all talking and we're talking. I step back a little bit and send a picture of like the group, and JP's the center of attention. Everybody's looking at JP, and he just looks so defeated, just sitting there. No, it sucks, and like I don't know. I've definitely been there. I've definitely had some really tough Steelers losses.
Shout out Jacksonville.
The Jacksonville Jaguars. Mainly the one I was thinking about was Browns. That one sucked, but the Packers Super Bowl, that was the hardest hitting loss that's ever happened to me personally.
Okay, what is the worst loss you ever witnessed for a Steelers game? Was it the Packers?
Oh, it's that.
Do you know what tops that for me? The Patriots game where Jesse James caught the ball.
That
because
sucked.
Pittsburgh would have gotten the 1 seed, which means we would have had home field advantage, and I think Pittsburgh would have made the Super Bowl that year.
That definitely sucked.
Stupid.
The Tebow overtime throw
number 2.
Sucked really, really bad just because it was Tim Tebow.
Exactly. I lived in New Mexico at the time, so all my friends were Broncos fans, and they were so annoying about that.
Yeah, that loss sucked really bad. But I vividly remember that Steelers-Packers Super Bowl. A Ravens fan bought me a terrible towel that day.
Before the game or after the game?
Before the game. Yeah, because I didn't have one. A Ravens fan bought me my first terrible towel. I still have it. And I told him I didn't have one. And he's like, you can't be a Steelers fan without a terrible towel. And we were in fans. Oh. And he bought me a terrible towel. Oh. Yeah. And then I was waving it all game long, and we lose. And that fan was also in the same sports bar we were at. My mom was working at a sports bar at the time, so we were there like all day. They were doing like a big party. There was this big like ice sculpture of like the Steelers logo versus the Green Bay logo and everything. It was a big party. And then right across from that was that fans in the district.
I know the sports bar you're talking about.
On
like the corner.
Yeah, it was called Rumors.
I watched the Patriots win their comeback in that bar.
Yeah, Rumors was the name of that sports bar. No longer exists. I don't know what happened to it. It fell off the face of the earth. But yeah, that was the most heartbreaking Steelers loss I've ever witnessed. And it was just the fact that like being in a public setting
and watching your team
I was when that was what 2012, 2011. It was early 2011 then, right? So I was 10.
Yeah.
I was 10 years old in a sports bar with a bunch of drunk adult Packers fans.
Who were being just jackasses, I bet.
Yeah. And I'm 10 years old, and they're like, yeah, kid. And I'm like, yeah, it was the worst.
You're the easy target.
It was the worst night I could possibly imagine.
I think the worst loss I've ever witnessed, for me, it's got to be the Patriots and then Tim Tebow. I think the third, though, is... This wasn't even a Steelers loss.
Oh, no.
So, rewind with me. It's 2015. Me and one of my friends from high school at the time decide, hey, we're playing each other in the playoffs. We should watch the game together. That friend in question being Mr. Parker.
Oh, no.
Who is a Bengals fan. And I remember very vividly Landry Jones threw an interception with like a minute and 35 seconds left.
Landry Jones existed. Oh, no, not the Landry Jones era.
Zach just had like a non-flat.
I was like, oh, God. Not the 2015 Landry Jones season.
But I remember
what a sad
he threw an interception and Vontaze Burfict ran out of the tunnel. And I just looked at Parker and I was like, all right, bro, this has been real. Yeah. I appreciate it. That was really fun. And then like 3 seconds later, the greatest middle linebacker that ever played football, I said what I said, but he got hurt. Ryan Shazier just rips the ball out of, I think it was Justice Hill's hand. And I was like, I remember I looked at Parker and I went, uh-oh. And then just the greatest collapse in probably postseason history witnessed in front of a Bengals fan.
Okay.
And Parker handled it like a champ.
Yeah.
Like a champ.
And as Parker does, being a Bengals fan, like they were used to that for sure. Did you just call Ryan Shazier the greatest middle linebacker to ever play football?
If he'd stayed healthy?
Okay, that's a super hypothetical.
Okay.
You just walked out and
Well,
said,
luckily-
in my opinion, Ryan Shazier is the best middle linebacker to ever play football.
Yeah. If he had stayed healthy,
Okay, if he stayed healthy, you can say that.
he was
I
going to be a
guess.
Hall of Famer, and I think he would have been one of the greatest middle linebackers to ever play football, if not the
Possibly.
greatest. Name someone
Possibly.
better. I would have taken him over Prime Kuechly. I would have taken him over
Fred
Prime-
Warner,
I would-
Ray Lewis. Are you forgetting Ray Lewis exists? Brian
You know what's funny?
Urlacher?
I don't consider Ray Lewis to be a middle linebacker. I consider him to be an edge rusher because he was not a coverage guy.
Middle linebackers aren't coverage guys.
Yes, they are.
No, they
That's
do
their
not.
whole job.
They cover the middle of the field and they protect that middle of the field. You're telling me Ryan Shazier did that better than Ray Lewis?
Yeah, because Ray Lewis is more of a pass rusher.
I don't believe what you're saying to me right now. I can't believe what you
This
just
is
said.
one of the only times me and Zach have ever disagreed on the
You're telling me
podcast.
Ray Lewis is of a worse middle linebacker?
Okay, so besides Ray Lewis, who else could be better than Ryan Shazier? Don't say
mean-
Patrick Willis because I would not. I would take Ryan Shazier or Patrick Willis because of athletic prowess. I think Ray Lewis is a fair point. I would not take
Urlacher's
Mike
up there.
I would not take Mike Singletary.
Singletary's up there. I forgot he existed.
I wouldn't take Singletary.
Fred Warner right now is putting on a crazy middle linebacker
I would
show.
take Ryan Shazier over current Fred Warner.
That's bold.
Dude,
I appreciate. I respect what you're saying.
Think about
it's bold.
Think about this. How bad was our defense when we had Bell, Brown, and Ben?
Yeah,
It was bad. Who was the one person that consistently delivered?
yeah.
No. I want you to say his name.
Yes, Ryan Shazier delivered on our defense, and he was the only one. Does that make him the best middle linebacker of all time
Okay, name another middle linebacker we've drafted that's been good.
that we've drafted?
Yes.
I mean, I can, but okay. But these
We
arguments
don't.
are
We don't develop good middle linebackers. We just signed Miles Jack, and he was jack shit essentially this season. So like the fact that he was able to perform because
I don't know. You can say he might be the best Steelers middle linebacker of all
Well,
time.
easily.
There you go. I'll give you that.
top 3, not 3.
Sure. I'll let Connor have him be top 3. If Connor wants to have Ryan Shazier be a top 3 middle linebacker of all time,
If stayed healthy.
go ahead.
So I actually think it's funny that we talk about a hypothetical because today is actually the what if episode.
Yeah.
But we'll get into the what ifs later because we're gonna recap the rest of the playoffs.
Okay, yeah, we were talking about week 1.
Well, okay, that's everyone's already listened to that. Okay. So the Dallas is frauds. We already knew that. Sorry,
and the
Nick.
Vikings, I'll just say
Vikings-
it out there.
Vikings
Vikings
were-
are mega frauds.
Vikings were the biggest frauds of the year. Sorry, Austin. The Cowboys were frauds. I gotta say it.
But the Cowboys also just played the best team in football as well.
Look at me. Hey, this is gonna be Instagram reel. Look at me. Social media. Hey, social media. Look at. I like how I just did that as if like that was a blooper. Social media. I just. Sorry, I had to shoot earlier, and so I just had a flashback to like, oh, I'll just cut that later.
just
It's
cut
literally
it
a
later and
podcast.
just reset.
No,
Yeah.
no, we can't do that. Social media. Look at me. Brock Purdy is in a better situation than any other quarterback that was drafted this year. Brock Purdy, if you put him on any other team with any other coach, would not be doing this. He's good.
We don't know that, though.
He's not winning them games. He's just not losing them games. They have not won a game because of Brock Purdy. I'm just going to say that. I'm just kind of salty he got all
Fair
rookie.
statement.
I'm just kind of salty he got all rookie first team instead of Kenny with 6 games. 6. With throwing
Fair
to
statement.
CMC, Debo, Brandon Ayuk, Kyle Juszczyk, underrated. Elijah Mitchell,
But he's still
George
throwing them
Kittle.
the ball. Like, they're still good balls.
Are they? No, they're not.
They are pretty.
No, they are not.
He's making decent throws.
No, here's what happens: is he makes like a
Connor's
wide-
on one today.
No,
I don't
he
agree
makes-
with him today.
he makes such a bad throw, but either the defender misses it or he has such good skill positions that they like Kittle's bobble. That like Kittle did not need to bobble that ball 1,000 times because it wasn't the greatest thrown ball. Or like there was a play last week, as in when they beat who they playing with, the Seahawks. He made a throw and like everyone was like, "This was a crazy." But if you watch the replay after he completes this throw, Shanahan calls him over and starts yelling at him because it was the shittiest decision. But everyone's like, "Bleh." If you put anyone else, literally anyone works on that system. Anybody. Anyways, rant over. So yeah,
I'll give you that.
San Francisco also.
It's yours.
San Francisco beats. Did they beat this week?
The Cowboys. I was like, come on. You were just talking about it.
Zeke got flattened like a fucking bro.
Okay, can we talk about the Cowboys deciding for 2 years in a row now when they're playing San Francisco that their last play of the game is going to be some wild, drawn up, crazy trick play.
Okay. I will say I think they were the dumbest plays, but I'm going to say one thing. To be fair, what play do you call?
Yeah.
From your own 30-yard line. That's going to work.
Yeah, it's good. It's got to be a Hail Mary. It can't be whatever you were doing there with Zeke as your center. All your linemen are now your receivers. And then you don't. The thing that made me upset is when they lined up on Zeke and then had 2 other linebackers behind that man and then didn't call either a timeout or get their offensive line back into position when they realized that they're still going to rush. I was like, there's no shot. They just let that play happen. It was like, it reminded me of the McAfee situation where it was like,
oh, the punt?
Yeah,
the
he
weird,
was like, we weren't supposed to snap the ball. Yeah. It wasn't supposed to happen, but they snapped the ball. And that's what that Cowboys play looked like. It looked like they were trying to do something weird and not snap the ball and then go do some stupid pitchy woo woo to finish the game.
I would love, because they do like mic'd up every week. I just want to hear. I want to hear Zeke's mic when they're like, "All right, we're gonna have Zeke hike the ball." He's just like, "The fuck."
Or Dax when they got it when it snapped it to him.
Zach was like,
Dax just sitting there like, all right, we'll draw him off sides. We'll see what's going on. Ball gets to him. He's like, Zeke, goddamn it! He's just getting sacked.
He says, "Zeke, goddamn it!" Looks down. Zeke's on the ground. Fred Warner's. He's like, ah!
And he just chucks it up like, oh yeah.
So the Cowboys lost. Mahomes got hurt. I will say,
but he's back.
Shout out the Jags.
Off the injury report.
The Jags made that a good game.
They did.
Even though I think it was 24-10 at one point.
Yeah, it got sloppy in the middle, but they came back and I made it competitive.
I know that Trevor Lawrence had 2 interceptions. I will say I don't think either of them were really his fault. Sorry. It was back-to-back possessions of turnovers where he threw an interception, and then the other one was his running back fumbled and on like the 3-yard line. They were driving. Yeah. So Jags gonna be a fun team to watch next year. That was one of my only bold predictions that was correct this year. Yeah. So that happened, and then what was the other? Oh, the Bills lost to the Bengals.
Bills-Bengals game.
What's up with the Bills?
I don't know. I think that the Bengals are just a better team, and I think the same. As much as I want to say that the AFC Championship isn't going to go the same way it has been going when KC and Cincinnati play each other, but Cincinnati is looking just, I don't know, like who's stopping them right now?
So I'm guessing
that's what I'm saying. I think Patrick Mahomes is legitimately the only man that can stop the Bengals, and he's hurt and he hasn't done it before, and that's scary if you're an AFC team right now.
So you think that the Bengals are going to win this game then?
Yeah, now that Mahomes got hurt, he's jogging around. I saw his press conference today. He did look a little limpy on that 1 foot coming down the stairs, but Pat McAfee said that it was probably just the fear of it hurting coming down the stairs where he looks a little gingerly. But yeah, he's jogging around. Andy Reid didn't put him on the injury report, so he's definitely going to play, and he's going to play the full game.
I expect a lot of shotgun. I don't think there's going to be a lot of single back.
No, but I don't know. I don't know who stops this Bengals team right now. They're on, 11-game win streak?
They haven't lost since Halloween, I think is what it is. So so you have them going to the Super Bowl. It's so funny. I actually really like both of the AFC teams. I really don't care who makes it. I think the Chiefs are one of the few rare times where, they're kind of a likable dynasty. Like, no one likes the Patriots.
No, yeah.
And if you're not a Steelers fan, I know a lot of people just don't really like the Steelers. And that's just because of their success. I think since Pittsburgh hasn't won a Super Bowl in a while, people are more like, how do they keep doing it? But the Patriots especially are a good example. But I think the Chiefs are one of those teams where it's like, I mean, they're fun and they're not that cocky about it.
No.
And then the Bengals, I think the Bengals are just a fun team to watch. And also they've been bad for so long, that's kind of fun to root for them. The only reason I don't is because they're in our division. Yeah. But I think that's such a dumb reason to not. Okay, if it was the Ravens, I might, or the Browns. But I think the Bengals.
See, that's the thing. If the Browns were good, I'd be rooting for the Browns just because of how much they've been trashed.
See, normally
that's why I like the Bengals right now. The Ravens can suck forever. I don't care about the Ravens.
And then the NFC side, though, I want the Eagles to win it only because the Niners have 5 Super Bowls and they tie us if they win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think the Niners are going to win it.
I think they will too.
The Niners are so good.
I think that this Eagles team is like the Ravens team when Lamar won MVP.
Yeah.
We get to speculate about Lamar soon.
Mm-hmm.
I love the off season.
gonna be great.
So yeah, so that's kind of our playoff. So you have the Niners and then the Bengals.
Yeah. That's the only thing from my. Oh, they never even saw my predictions. That drawing that I did. It's the only thing that's changed. I guessed the championships correctly.
Nice.
I got that all done. Yeah. So I think Super Bowl matchup is going to be Bengals 49ers, and the Bengals get their hearts ripped out. One.
You think the Niners are going to win it?
I think the Niners win it all.
Oh, interesting. Oh, can I make another controversial statement? Najee Harris is a better running back than Joe Mixon, and Joe Mixon's overrated. I said it.
Yeah,
I said it.
that's not a good statement.
That's a great statement.
No.
It's a factual statement.
No, Mixon's better.
No, he's not. What has he done? He had one game this year where he was good.
What has Najee done?
Second half of the season, he was actually consistent running back. Joe Mixon had one. I hate fantasy for this reason.
Yeah,
Everyone,
Joe Mixon's 55-point fantasy game definitely screwed skewed people's opinions. But
I'm pulling this up. I think he had 8 touchdowns on the year. 5 of them were in one game, Zach.
If that's true, that's a problem.
Okay.
If he had 8 and 5 of them were in one game, that's a problem.
I'm going to pull this up right now because this is going to bother me. Bengals. You guys are just, I don't even care about filler. We're going to go to roster. And then, what's his name?
Joe Mixon is his name. There you go.
Okay. He had 7 touchdowns.
Oh, no,
and he
and
had
5 were in one game.
He had 2 outside of that. He had 814 yards. Najee had 1,000.
Oh, yeah, that's tough. I didn't know Mixon was having a bad season.
It's because Najee's better. Anyways, I am on one today.
You're a bit of a menace today.
What'd you just do?
I don't know. That gap's bothering me.
Oh, that's how it is because this lifts up. This opens the side.
Does this? There we go. It's even now. Okay. So what's next?
What is?
What if? So wait, do we? So what are your predictions then for championship weekend?
What do I want? I want the Bengals and the Eagles. What do I think will happen? I think it'll be Bengals Niners.
Who wins that? So you think Bengals are coming out of the AFC no matter what?
Zach Taylor's not a great coach compared to Kyle Shanahan, but I just want to take the better quarterback.
Which is definitely Burrow.
Yes, 100%.
Team.
Oh, it's 100% the Niners, and their defense is also the best. I think that this week will be a great showing because the Eagles had the number 1 ranked offense.
Number 1 offense versus number 1 defense, baby.
And so I think if the Niners run them dry, then it's over for the Bengals. But if it's a close game, I think the Bengals can keep up. I like the color scheme on your phone.
Thank you.
Black and white. I like that.
No, it's green.
What? Oh, interesting.
It's definitely green.
It's definitely black and white.
All right.
All right. So, so we'll switch it up. We were talking about what ifs earlier, what if Ryan Shazier
stayed healthy.
So we're going to talk about our biggest what ifs from this season. We each brought 3. We each brought 3. And these are just fun things to kind of talk about of what could have happened in this season. So I'm going to let Zach go first. And while he's telling me, I'm actually going to enjoy a birthday cake puff bar because these are really good.
All righty. My first what if is what if Kenny Pickett started in week 1?
How did I know you were going to do this? I was driving home today and I was thinking about the what ifs that you're going to bring, and I was like, it's going to be what if Kenny started. And I'll tell you exactly what happens. Pittsburgh probably has 11 wins.
You think so?
He
11?
got us at least 2 more wins.
Yeah, he
wins Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
If Kenny Pickett starts from week 1, he wins Offensive Rookie of the Year.
I 1,000% agree with what he's saying. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I said we would probably win a couple more games. We'd win 1 or 2 more games. We wouldn't be phenomenal. We wouldn't be we wouldn't be the greatest thing since sliced bread. But since Built Bars, actually, we wouldn't be the best thing since Built Bars.
TCP Jack, 10% off.
Yeah, 10% off, baby. Use my code. Yeah, but we would win a couple more games, and he definitely would be the Offensive Rookie of the Year.
You know what's funny? I think that causes 3 things to happen. 1, we win 11 games at least. 2, he wins Rookie of the Year. 3, Mike Tomlin wins Coach of the Year. If he led that team to 11 wins, He should have been a nominee this year. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the fact that he didn't even get nominated, it's tough.
I think that's a really interesting one. I kind of figured you were going to do it.
Yeah.
You love Kenny.
Oh, I love Kenny. Kenny, I sent a clip to the boys today of the Spanish broadcast, and just hearing a man go, Pickety Pickens is the best thing in the whole world. I love Pickett and Pickens and that duo, and we have at least 4 years of them, hopefully more.
Definitely
But
more.
I love that duo.
My first what if is, what if Drew Lock played for the Broncos this year?
Oh, I still think they'd be terrible.
I don't know. Do you think
That's what I think. I think Nathaniel Hackett was the problem. Not as much Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson wasn't Russell Wilson that we've seen before. But
is coaching? I mean,
yes.
Okay, I know coaching's important, but I didn't even ask the question.
Is coaching that important? Yes.
But no way it leads like that bad. Okay, here's my.
No,
okay.
they'd still be bad. They still wouldn't. I'm not saying like Drew. Like it would be bad still.
So if Jeff Saturday coached that Broncos team, did they win more games?
So what? They win. They won 4 this year. So they got to win 5.
Yeah.
All right. Jeff Saturday and Drew Lock could maybe win one more game for the Broncos. They'd be 5-13?
No.
5-12? They'd be 5-12 instead of 4-13.
I don't know. I think if
That's what Drew Lock and Jeff Saturday would do.
I think if Drew Lock had played for the Broncos this year, Nathaniel Hackett wouldn't be the coach, and I think they would have won at least 8 games.
8?
Because they wouldn't have Nathaniel Hackett as a coach.
Yeah, I guess.
I think Nathaniel Hackett
if Hackett was never there. I don't know.
So
But isn't the Broncos team without Hackett and Lock just what we had last season?
Yeah, and they won 8 games.
They won 8 games? All right. Maybe that's a fair statement then. 8 games?
What's your second?
I'll say 7. My second what if is, what if Calvin Ridley wasn't a gambling addict and played this season for the Jacksonville Jaguars? Would they be in the conference championship?
He wouldn't have played from this year.
So what if, dummy?
No, but no. He was on the Falcons.
I get that. It's a what if. Calvin Ridley is on the Jacksonville Jaguars right now on the roster. What if he played?
But you said, what if he didn't have a gambling addiction? Because then he'd still be on the Falcons. I'm so confused.
Okay, I'll reword it for you. What if Calvin Ridley wasn't on the Falcons and was on the Jacksonville Jaguars last season or this season?
Well, he was suspended.
This is what ifs.
But you didn't say and he wasn't suspended. It hurts.
Hey there. I actually hate it here sometimes.
So you're basically just asking me what the Jaguars are going to be next year?
Sure. What are the Jaguars going to be next year, Connor? Go ahead.
12 wins?
There you go. That's your answer. Move on.
What do you think?
Move on.
What do you think?
No, we're done. We're moving on. Tell me your second one.
I want to hear what you think.
I think they're going to win the division
Easily.
and have a deep playoff run. That was my answer. Now tell me yours.
My second one. What if the Dolphins... What if the Dolphins never traded for Tyreek?
They'd be the Dolphins still.
What?
Like, I don't know. They'd be mediocre. Tyreek made them... They still are mediocre. They lost like their last, 7? They lost their last 7 in a row. I don't know. The Dolphins without Tyreek Hill, Waddle will be their number 1.
I think they win 6
Trent
games.
Sherfield would be their number 2.
No, Mike Gesicki's their number 2.
But like wide receiver.
Oh, wide receiver, yeah. Yeah, I think they win like 6 games. And I think
6 games.
I think the biggest thing is that they become in a market for a quarterback because I think Tua doesn't put up as good of numbers.
Where do you think Tua goes?
Like elsewhere, is that what you're asking?
Yeah, well, you're saying they go to QB, like they start looking for QBs.
Yeah, I think he's just the backup.
Oh, they just bench him?
Yeah, I think they just kind of
Fair enough.
they just kind of like Baker Mayfield him.
Yeah, no, Tyreek Hill definitely makes this team better. Without him,
That's
I
one
don't
of
know,
the
they're
few.
really bad.
That's one of the few times like a wide receiver actually made a team, like a skill position made a team better. Like I feel like that's what a lot of teams hope for. Like when I think a great example is like Le'Veon Bell. The Jets are hoping he would like help transform,
Change everything,
but
yeah.
he didn't. And so I think Tyreek got a lot of respect from people outside the NFL because players already respected him. But like I think he got a lot of respect for just like, oh, he actually can just change a game.
Yeah.
Because the Chiefs also just looked fine without him.
Yeah.
The Chiefs maybe have one more win.
Yeah, the Chiefs were like, cool, see ya. Mahomes is better. Yeah, six or seven wins. They're pretty middle of the pack. They're in a pretty, I don't know. I want to say tough division, but you got, what, the Jets?
It was tough for like the first 6 games, and then they all fell off
They
except
all
for the
fell
Bills.
off, yeah.
What's your last one?
My last one. What if CMC never got traded to San Francisco? Would they still be one game away from the Super Bowl?
That's
Amidst all of this, amidst all of the QB problems, all that stays the same. Brock's still your quarterback right now, but Jeff Wilson is the starting the starting running back.
That's
Or
interesting.
yeah, it would be Jeff Wilson.
Yeah, because Elijah Mitchell was hurt.
Yeah,
I don't think they're in the same position
I can almost guarantee you they're not in the same position
because that trade literally helped them win the division. I think the Seahawks probably win that division by like a game.
Yeah,
I think Brock Purdy. CMC doesn't get traded. Brock Purdy does not qualify for Rookie of the Year. Brock Purdy probably has a couple bad games. I love Brock Purdy, by the way. I just hate how people handle the situation. But Brock Purdy probably gets benched, and they try to bring in someone else because he doesn't have anyone. Because like that's the thing about Jeff Wilson and Elijah Mitchell. Jeff Wilson is somewhat of a receiving back, but like nothing like CMC.
no, yeah, not even close. Nobody really is. On
So
that level.
I still
Eckler,
think that the Niners make the playoffs, but
Yeah.
I don't think that they're a game away from the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I think they
don't
probably get
so
eliminated
either.
in the first
Yeah,
round.
They're probably wild card. They're wild card exits.
And they probably had to like play the Vikings. I think that they probably would have lost like a Vikings.
The only thing that I can see the 49ers being in the spot that they are is the defense carried them there, or Brock Purdy really is that guy. But we don't. How do you know?
We don't.
How do you know? You give me
That
the stink
defense-
face like you've seen him play
I
for
know.
any other team.
That defense has been so good though. I can't give him all the credit because
Yeah.
he hasn't won them a game.
no, I
He
get
just
what you're
hasn't
saying. I
not
get what you're
lost them a
saying.
game.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But we don't know that he's not the reason the 49ers are one game away from the Super Bowl.
You're right.
Those are my 3 what ifs.
My
What's your last one?
My last one. What if the Chargers stayed healthy all season?
They're definitely not first round exits. They're probably playing. They're
You're leaking all over my suit. It's just water, thank God.
Yeah.
But what the?
honestly, if they stay healthy, they play one more game this year. I don't think.
I think they can make the championship.
I
AFC championship.
think they go. They beat Jacksonville, and then they still lose to Kansas City in the divisional. I don't think they make conference championship, and even if they did make the conference championship, they're not beating the Bengals.
Really? Even fully healthy?
No, I don't think so.
Because I think if that team stayed healthy all year, they would have had at least 3 more wins. So I think they could have actually possibly won the division.
Yeah, I don't know. It
James is
depends.
just like dying inside listening to this part.
It depends. I don't know. It depends on if, if any of the downfall was any coaching problems. God forbid I blame Herbo.
Oh, that's another thing. I think if they had stayed healthy all year, Herbo would have been an MVP candidate because he didn't have Keenan or Mike for like half the fucking season. So
Yeah, it's definitely they definitely would be a better team for sure. They'd have receivers, which is a start. Their defense would be top 3, probably not 1. I still think the 49ers probably
Niners.
have the best defense.
and then Eagles are up there too.
So yeah, I think they're definitely a better team. They win more regular season games, but when it comes to the playoffs, I don't see them. They're not first round exits for sure, but they're not conference title ready
Interesting.
yet.
Okay, I think they're conference contenders, but not Super Bowl contenders if they're healthy.
Fair enough. Which is that's not like the craziest thing to say. Yeah, it's
Because I mean, on paper they look one of the best teams going
you're
to the
really not far off. I just think that when it comes down to like these playoff games, I think that game specifically, if everything played out the same and nothing changed other than the health of the Chargers, they will beat the Jacksonville Jaguars and then go on to lose to KC in that divisional round.
That's interesting. So there we go. There's our NFL what ifs. Let us know what you guys think and what are your guys', if there's
Yeah.
anybody even here at this point, what are your biggest what ifs?
What's next?
That's kind of it, dude. We're like 45 minutes in.
Basketball, actually.
Oh,
Forgot
that's
about basketball.
Yes. Do you have questions for me?
I do have questions for you.
What should,
I almost thought I didn't have questions for you.
do you have them from last week though?
No, I have questions
Oh,
for,
let's
you
go.
for this week. Yeah. So so the reason I thought I didn't have questions for you, at 1:00 today, I type in the group chat with JP, Kai, Nick, and me. I go, here we go again. That's all I say. Because the first time I go, hey, this is Connor wants me to ask questions. I'm asking you guys to ask them. I'll just relay them. And then the next week, that next time, I was like, all right, we're back at it. Just give me the questions. The next week, I just said, you know the drill. Love you all. So then I just go, I said, here we go again. That's all I said. Nobody says anything. About 5:00, I go, maybe I wasn't clear or you guys hate me now, but yeah, I need more questions. And that was like an hour before getting off work, and then they got me their questions.
Okay, nice.
So I don't know what they maybe just thought I was just saying something in the wrong
Here
chat
we
or
go again.
something, but all right.
Give me the best. How many you got?
We've got 9 this time.
Okay,
Nick
perfect.
gave me 4 instead of 5.
Okay. Let's do this.
So
Speed round.
these are the 5 from our lovely Kai.
5 from Kai.
5 from Kai. Number 1, who should the Nuggets target at the trade deadline?
No one. Their chemistry's great. Their team's working phenomenally. They have probably one of the deepest teams in the league. And they have, Aaron Gordon's playing at an all-star level, but there's so many good players in the West right now that he's probably not going to make the all-star game. So I would, honestly, I'm going to say nobody because of how well their chemistry's working. Question 2.
Do the Warriors have enough time to catch up?
Yes. If they're an 8 or a 7 seed, they can easily, kind of like how I said about the Kings, they can play upset. And honestly, maybe being an 8 or 7 seed is good for them too, because then they have a better chance to rest up players and have a lower seed and not have to worry about getting a 1, 2, or 3 seed.
What is the Kings' ceiling?
I'm going to say ceiling conference semifinals. I don't think they can make the conference finals. I think conference semifinals in the West.
Okay. Question number 4 is just a name. That's it. So take this as you will.
Okay.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
We talked about this last week.
Yeah, I think I might have just not seen that.
We talked about him.
So, number 5 are the Raptors sellers at the deadline.
Kind of. Scotty Barnes has been on the market, and there's apparently a team that offered 3 firsts for him. So I think they will be selling pieces. I don't know if they'll end up selling pieces, but I think that they are currently looking to sell pieces, especially Fred VanVleet is on the market. I think the only untouchable with him right now is probably Pascal Siakam, because he's playing at an All-NBA level right now, and he's kind of their franchise staple. Even though they're shopping Scotty Barnes, I don't think he'll be traded because they do just like his ceiling, and it's okay to have a second-year drop-off. That's happened with players before. I think Jason Tatum had a very famous second year just kind of plateau from his rookie season. So they'll probably sell a couple pieces, but I don't know if they will sell the entire team. Didn't really answer your question, but
All righty. That was Kai's 5.
Thank you, Kai. Love you, Kai.
Yeah, Kai's great. Nick's 4.
Nick's picks.
Number 1, who is the next player to get a shoe deal? Knicks are kind of wild this week.
Who's the next player to get a shoe deal? Okay, so Luka has one. Trey has one. Ja just got one. Jason Tatum just got one. Oh,
Zion have one?
Cade Cunningham's hurt. Zion has one. LaMelo has one. That's actually kind of a hard question, Nick. I'm trying to think of young players. Damn.
Yeah, most of the guys that you would think of.
I would have said
one.
Chet, but he got hurt.
Chet could get one though.
No, he's hurt and he's not proven enough. I want to say homeboy in Orlando, but big men usually don't get, because they get hurt so often. It's usually guards because people want to be a guard and they're used for handles. I don't. Ooh, That's a hard one. I don't know. Tyrese Halliburton. He's great.
Tyrese. Did Rudy Gobert fall off, or are the Wolves just not using him right?
I think it can be fair to say a little bit of both. I don't think that Rudy's completely fallen off, but I think his production has dwindled because of how the Timberwolves use him. I think he kind of was grown into the Jazz system for his entire career, so going to a different system where they don't heavily rely on the three-pointer as much as the Jazz did, and they don't just need him to rebound. They do kind of need him as a scoring option. I think that's kind of changed up his game a little bit, but I think he'll eventually adapt. I'm not saying he's going to get back to Rudy Gobert of Depoy. I don't think he's going to win another Defensive Player of the Year, but it's a combination of the both. Where there's smoke, there's fire, and the Timberwolves are the fire, and Rudy Gobert is that smoke that's kind of leading out of it.
Alrighty. Who will be the biggest All-Star snub this year?
I have two names in mind: Bam Adebayo and Aaron Gordon. Which is funny because Bam literally came out, I think it was yesterday, and was like, I should be in Salt Lake. And he's right. He's playing really, really great. He's going to be a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. He's one of the reasons why the Heat are constantly in it every single year. And then Aaron Gordon, like I talked about earlier, he's one of the biggest reasons for the Nuggets' success. So I think those are two of the biggest snubs. Now, the West has plenty of snubs because of how deep the West is this year.
It's like the AFC, I'm guessing.
Literally, they are the AFC. Yeah. But I think those are the two biggest names.
And then who, we did this a couple weeks ago, but who is currently your finals prediction? I know the NBA fluctuates quite a bit, so the answer is probably way different.
A couple weeks later, I'm going to have fun with this one. I'm going to say Nuggets, Cavs.
It's a crazy, that's
Nuggets,
a wild,
Cavs.
it'd be wild if that happens.
Nuggets
but
are, I think, 17-3 in their last 20 games. Cavs are absolutely, even though the Cavs lost to the Knicks last night or a couple nights ago when you guys
do
were watching
Nuggets
this.
have Jamal Murray? Is he playing still?
He should be, I believe. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He came back from his injury. I'm gonna say Nuggets, Cavs. That sounds kind of fun. Don't worry, it'll change in 3 weeks when Nick re-asks me.
Yeah.
But there we go.
Why do you
Knicks
say the
picks.
Cavs? Just because of Donovan, or
Not just Donovan. I mean, I kind of touched on this when you asked about.
who won the Donovan trade?
Yeah, and it's just the way that team is built. I mean, you've got Evan Mobley, who's a defensive anchor, but he's also really, really good at scoring. He's also kind of had a slower second year, kind of similar to Scotty Barnes. They have their own version of Rudy Gobert down low in Jared Allen. They have a ball distributor in Darius Garland, who is probably one of the most underrated. There's another person you could say that's going to be a snub from the All-Star game.
Yeah.
So it's just the way that team is built, and they're also very, very deep, and they're young, so they're just going to constantly get better. And I think Donovan's a great leader and just a good guy overall. So I think they'd be a really fun team.
Is Donovan like their leader, like he was on the Jazz?
Oh yeah, yeah, 100%. He's definitely leading that team. I think it's because he's just also of the starting lineup. I don't know if he has the most experience. Like, who they put at the three kind of fluctuates sometimes, but like between Jared Allen, Evan Mobley,
the three is the shooting forward, right?
small forward.
Small forward.
Between Jared Allen, Evan
Shooting
Mobley,
forward.
and Darius Garland, and Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell has the most experience. I think that he's just kind of like the leader there. So. Nick's picks and Kai's 5. Thank you, boys.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you all. It was getting ropey there at around 5:30. I was like, well, I hadn't got Nick's questions yet, and I said, Nick, if you can send me by the time we get to the segment, I promise I will feature you. So he did that indeed.
So thank you guys. And honestly, podcast flew by today. So
Podcast did flow by. If you want it to be a short episode, we can end it now, and I can save what I am going to ask you for next week, or we could do it now. It's up to you. Whatever you
I'm
want.
going to say save it because it said low battery for like the last 10 minutes.
Oh, no.
I don't want to lose anything.
Okay, I'll just put it in the doc, and we'll make it an actual segment.
Talk about it for next week. Yeah, I have a couple ideas for next week as well. But next week we'll obviously talk about the outcomes of the conference championship
We will
games.
know who's going to the Super Bowl by this time next week.
Yep, and I've got some other stuff planned out. So thank you guys so much for watching. Also,
The script has released. I've seen a bunch of stuff
on
saying
like grocery stores and stuff. Yeah,
It's all Bengals and 49ers
Niners.
right
Yeah,
now.
it totally is.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much. Thank you, Bill, for sponsoring. Either code TCP Connor or
TCP Zach.
for 10% off at checkout. Shout out you guys. I'll have Zach try a second flavor in next week's episode, and we'll find out what Zach's favorite flavor Built is. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, you guys, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye, guys.